Hi, welcome to Messier Mantra. I'm your host, Mike Messier. On this episode, we have a new friend of mine. She is Mrs. India, New England, 2017 to 2018, Shalini Kashyap. Shalini, did I get the name right this time?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's Shalini Kashyap.
Kashyap.
No, Kashyap.
Kashyap. Shalini Kashyap.
Okay, you're there. Almost.
Almost.
Yes.
It's just a, people have problems with my name sometimes too, Messier.
Messier.
Yeah, well, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
Now, I'm very excited to meet you because Mrs. India, New England, it seems like there's a whole subculture, and you brought this wonderful periodical. If we can take a look at it, it's a newspaper.
It's a magazine.
It's a magazine
so
from
this is India New England magazine, where I got featured on the cover page. So, if we all can
That's
see.
a great photo. And what event was this? Where was this?
So this was a wedding expo, an exhibition, and it was a fashion show. And it's a big event in New England where there are a lot of fashion shows and food and a lot of exhibitions. So this was where I participated, and I modeled and I walked the ramp. And the next thing I know is I'm on the cover page of the magazine, so it was exciting.
What an honor. I mean, that's fabulous. And you told me, because I had no idea that there was a culture, India, New England culture. And the reason I know it is because of you, actually, because I was on Facebook, as we all are. Yeah, well,
if you know the community through me, then I'm very honored.
Yes, because you had your Facebook page with some of your modeling photos, and it said, and in one of your pictures you had is it called a sash?
Yes.
And it said Mrs.
Yes. Mrs. India, New England.
Mrs.
Yes.
India, New England, and I was like, wow, I had no idea that there was this.
I also won the title of Miss India, New England Viewer's Choice, so yeah, and then I was crowned Mrs. India, New England.
And these competitions are tough, they're challenging.
They are.
Tell me, because we've had a few other guests, Savannah and Caitlin have been on the show, Miss Fairfield, Connecticut, and a young lady from New York who's won some pageants. So I'm just kind of fascinated how hard this work is to do these pageants. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
These pageants, every year they happen, and it is tough. I mean, if you want to do it, if you are an inspiring model, go there, try your luck. And these are kind of tough. You need to prepare yourself well. Grab the first opportunity you get, just grab it, prepare well, and you will succeed. I mean, I constantly told myself it's going to be difficult, but I just said it's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, right? So yeah, there, I made it.
and was there, you told me that you do a little bit of singing too.
Yes. I am trained in Indian classical music, trained for 7 years back in India. So my growing up years was mostly I was studying and music, so yeah.
Is music, and specifically pop music, a huge part of Indian culture?
Well, I come from a metropolitan city, the heart of India, Delhi. Okay. It's the capital of India, and it's all Western culture there. We grew up watching all these songs, English songs, and grew up eating burger, pizzas. It wasn't difficult for me to actually come and adapt this culture here in the US. It's kind of easy. It's not, India is not like how it is shown here in movies,
right.
in Slumdog Millionaire, how India's picture was shown. No, it is exceptionally good. I mean, I love India.
When I go to a restaurant in Rhode Island called Maharaja, and they always have a TV screen playing Indian videos, music videos.
Okay.
And they seem very intricate, very choreographed with the dancing, like the dancing and the singing. And these very glamorous women wearing pretty form-fitting dresses, and they're just going nuts, and they're just having a great time. And I say, wow, this is pretty exciting.
Well, we go nuts here also.
Yeah. If you're in the right place at the right time, I suppose.
Yes, so why not? I love Indian songs, Indian movies. Yes, Indian movies has songs, dance, everything. Everything is happening.
would you share for us some of your singing talents? Would you be up for doing a little bit of that?
Do you want me to sing?
Yeah, sing a few bars if you don't mind. So
Well, don't leave me here on this pain. Don't leave me out in the rain. Bring back the nights when I held you beside me. Break my heart. Say you love me again. Undo this hurt, 'cause when you walked out the door and walked out of my life, uncry these tears I cried for many million nights. Unbreak my heart.
that's fantastic. I mean, because
Thank you.
that's a great voice. I love
Thank you so
hearing
much.
that, because that's the first ever time we've had a singer sing on the show
Thank you.
in person right here in the studio. I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you. I was not prepared at all. So
Well, I mean, you know what? That to me is impressive, because singing a cappella like that and just kind of, it's great. You get right into it. And did you use singing as your talent? Was there a talent competition?
Yes, yes.
Was
So there
singing-
was a round, like talent round. So there are like 3-4 rounds
Right.
in the pageants. So one was the talent round. So I sang, of course.
Now, in Mrs. India New England, does that mean that each state of New England sends a representative, or does it mean different? Is there like a different town? Do you represent a town going into it as well?
I'm representing the whole New England.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other ladies that you're competing against,
They are all Indian origin girls.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a massive platform for all these girls who are inspiring models and who have always dreamt of, you know, having a crown on their head, who couldn't do such things back in India, but we have it here also. Like, it's like any other pageant. We have like Miss Massachusetts, Miss USA. So yeah, it's Mrs. India New England pageant. Sorry. So the name of the pageant is actually Miss India New England. We have 3 categories: Miss Teen, Miss, and Mrs. India.
And so since you were 2017, 18, I assume that, have they had a competition for 18, 19 already? That's
Yes, yes.
And did you-
So I already passed the crown.
and what was that like? Because we don't talk about that much with pageant winners. It's like, what's that night like when you've had your full year reign, and now it's basically the 1-year anniversary since you were crowned. I'd imagine you'd have a lot of good memories going into that night. But
Yes, yes.
how's that feel?
I have incredible memories.
Yeah.
Like, so after you win the crown, it's like you are busy.
Right.
You're on the wheels, on the road. And it's like I was called to be guest of honor at a lot of events. I worked closely with NGOs, and I represented the pageant wherever I went. And I was a guest of honor, a judge, and an MC. I hosted a lot of events, and I also hosted, like recently I hosted the Boston International Film Festival.
Great.
So it just opens a lot of opportunities for you if you have something like that on your plate.
And that's how I must have seen you on Facebook, through Boston International Film Festival.
Okay.
So that's how I probably saw you
Okay.
in a photo as the host.
Yes.
And then I said, well, who's this? And then I connected with you. And at this time, we have some photographs, and you very nicely edited a photo montage of
Thank
your
you.
modeling. So let's take a look. Here we go. These are great photos. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. The intricacies and just the different costumes and different looks. This is a great outfit. And that's with the crown, right?
Yes.
Wow. It's a great outfit too. Where was that photo taken? And here's that's probably where I saw
Yes,
the
this is the-
Boston International Film Festival.
This is from another TV show that I did.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Some photo shoots and stuff. So you're busy all the time.
Right, Miss India New England. Mrs. India New England, I should say.
Thank you.
Is there another competition for Miss, or is it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
What a great outfit that is.
Thank you.
It's very exciting stuff. This is like a totally different world for me, you know, the pageant world, but also
Exploring an Indian.
well, yeah, because I mean, you know, I have, you know, a couple of Bombay Flame, another Indian restaurant I go to in my home state, and Maharaja, like I mentioned. I'm going to have to show the guys there that, hey, Mrs. India New England was on the Messier Mantra.
Okay.
Maybe they'll give me a free buffet. Who knows?
I'm not sure about that.
So, what are some of your goals for your modeling and your career? Like, what are some things that you haven't done yet, but maybe you'd like to next?
Well, I am the kind of person who lives in the present. First of all, I'd like to say that. But yes, I am busy with a lot of fashion shows, and I am looking forward to a lot of fashion shows. Some are in New York, and some are here in New England area. I'm also exploring the line of acting, as I'm a theater artist too. I did theater back in India and also here. So definitely, I mean, I'm not going to speak much about it. It's too soon to speak about it, actually. So, but yes, I have a couple of offers, and if everything materializes well, then maybe that is the next thing.
I think you should. I mean, I think you should do everything you want to do. I mean, it's very exciting stuff. Tell me about the Indian folks, Indian people who now live in the United States, specifically New England. Tell me about what is the attraction to New England for, is there a specific, because you told me off the air that a lot of Indian people are here now, moving here, and tell me about that.
Well, I have been in the US only for the last 8 years, but I know people who are here from decades. Like, I know people who are here from last 40 years, 50 years. So it's nothing new. I see every second or third person is Indian here. Mostly they are into IT, and they are doctors and in medicine fields. So yes, there are so many good opportunities here which bring people from India or any other place here, and why not?
Well, we're happy to have you.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's great. And in the going back to the pageant world a little bit, when you win Mrs. India New England, do you enter a different pageant? Do you go on to a different pageant, or do you kind of just happy to have that pageant victory? You know what I mean? Do you mean
Okay,
are there more
so you mean
pageants
like, yes, that was a state pageant, and then there is nationals. So yeah, there is it took place in New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I participated but couldn't make it. But I was very happy with the title I had.
No, I think it's great too.
Yeah.
I'm just
But
trying
it was
to.
a good learning experience for me to go to nationals and learn. I mean, you meet so many people, you meet so many professionals, and you learn so much from each and every person, right?
What's a day in the life of a pageant contestant? Like, say the day of the action, because it's more than one day, isn't it? Isn't it like 2 or 3 days of the actual event?
So the event was just one day, but there are preparations that start from like months before.
Right.
So yeah, there is orientation, there are rehearsals, and there is good guidance. We train, like I was a part of the grooming training for the next set of girls. So yeah, you train them how to walk, how to talk, you know, some grooming tips, and yeah, confidence building, stuff like that.
There's a live audience, which is what, like 5,000 people, 10,000 people? Like how?
I cannot like give you a count, but yeah,
Right.
there are many.
Right, but I mean,
Yes.
a big auditorium.
Yes, yes.
And so, I mean, to me, that's part of the intrigue, or part of how tough this stuff is, because you have to go out there, whether you're wearing an evening gown or whatever it might be.
Yes, there are so many changes. You're changing from evening gown to ethnic wear, and then if you're doing some talent round, it's going to be like you have to change for a dance or whatever, singing.
And you know that you're being judged quite literally with the harshest of eyes, because they're making marks, and just to challenge anyone to go out and walk in front of people, you know, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people, and walk in some type of formal attire and smile and wave. It's not as easy as people might think.
Just think you're beautiful, own the ramp, and just go there, walk.
Right. And I mean, but I'm telling you,
Don't worry about who's watching.
Right.
You just walk.
But what I'm saying is there's a level of confidence and skill and practice, because I think, you know, you could be an attractive person and still go up there and get nervous. You know, that's what I would think.
That is true.
You know, so I just find it fascinating. And do they do like a question part of the contest?
Yes,
as
that
well?
is the final round, the question answer round.
Do you remember what your question was?
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I think something like about your biggest achievement, or maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a question answer round, and you have to like clear it, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
And you don't know which judge will be like asking you the question, right?
Right.
Like it's like you have to pick the name, and then they just shoot a question.
That's interesting. And what part of Massachusetts, if I can ask, you don't have to give the exact location, but are you over?
I live in Westboro.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And how do you feel about that area?
Yeah, it's a beautiful, nice city. I
Nice.
like it. Mm-hmm.
And are you doing beyond modeling? I know that takes up a lot of time, but are there other things that you're into these
So
days?
yes, I am a fashion model, a host, and I'm also a makeup artist. I am a personal banker. I have a full-time job, and I sing. I love to sing. I am so passionate about glamming up people through the art of makeup. That is something I really enjoy.
I would love to be a bank customer who goes in, and if you were wearing the tiara, especially, and Mrs. India New England is working in the bank, you must have the longest line in the bank. I mean,
I don't know. You should ask my manager that thing.
I can imagine a funny skit or parody where, like, you know, people come into your bank and like your line has like 20 all guys in your line, and then there's a bunch of nobody in the other lines.
Everybody is attractive in our bank. I have the
Really?
best team.
Wow,
Yes.
I'm gonna start going to Westboro
Yes.
for the bank. All right.
No, I work actually in Millis area, but yeah, it's okay.
That's cool. Well, that's really interesting, and just fascinating stuff here. And what is a mantra of yours, Shalini? Because the Messier Mantra, you know, is the name of the show refers to that. I ask each guest if they have a mantra, a personal statement, or a value, or a slogan, or an expression. You know, something that maybe is near and dear to your heart. You know, whether it's a work ethic or a family type of thing. What do you think as far as a mantra?
For me, my values and ethics are more important than any law or belief. And that's what has made my journey, you know, not very easy. It's not all easy as it seems. But yes, like I said, don't look back, keep moving forward, prepare well. And to all the girls who are like trying to get into this field or this industry, just have patience and have this passion in you. Just you know, your time will come. I mean, don't lose patience.
That's I like that. Don't lose patience, and don't look back is a thing that I always think of as a Bob Dylan album, and it really means a lot to me to hear you say that, because that's true. When you kind of dwell on the past, whether it was good or bad, you know.
And I feel like in this industry, there are people who will, you know, look down upon you, and they will laugh at you, and they will try to like remind you of your boundaries or your limits. But I don't want to say, but just ignore them.
Ignore them, yeah.
Yeah, ignore them. It's just ignore and move forward.
Is it the fashion world or the modeling world? Is it cutthroat? Is it tough as far as the human dynamics or people?
I haven't. I mean, my experience has been really good. I've met these exciting designers, and I've worked with, like, it's not negative to me. Like, from outside, it looks like really negative world.
Right.
But no, it is not. Like, everybody is so professional. Models are doing their job, photographers are doing their job, designers are coming with these beautiful designs. So it's all exciting. Nobody has time for, like, you know.
You know what I think it might be is when we see things, when the common person sees stuff like America's Next Top Model, or behind the scenes, you know, whatever the reality shows are about modeling, then of course, because it's television, they have to edit it and make it more dramatic and gossipy and backbiting for dramatic purposes. So when the common consumer sees these shows, maybe they think that that's a real reflection of the modeling world, the fashion world.
Maybe it was decades ago, but now everybody has camera in their phone. If something wrong happens, it's out there.
Right, good point.
You'll be caught.
Good point. And you shared another really short clip. This is kind of a behind the scenes, which I thought it was a great clip that you provided.
Yeah.
So let's, if we can, Cody and Kevin in the studio here, check this out.
Can we have the music? Like, no music?
I think, is there music, guys, for this one? This is, here we go.
Yeah.
It's just
a small clip.
It's a lot of fun, you know. It's when you're doing the actual modeling shoots, does music play sometimes or not?
Yeah, it depends on photographers. Like, if they want the music, if they want us to pose, they want to bring the feel. You know, the ambience or the environment should be, like, you know, happy and lively, so that we're not bored and we are, like, enjoying, right?
Yeah. Now, the clip that we just saw, what was there a product that you were modeling for, or was it glamorous photos of you?
Just a fashion photo shoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And when the day of a modeling shoot, let's kind of break this down a little bit. Say they say, hey, Shalini, we have a gig for you at 12 noon, and you're going to be modeling these clothes for, you know, and say that the gig is at 12 noon. What time in the morning would you have to wake up?
Okay, I would say 6 in the morning. Yeah.
See, for me, that's rough, because if it's a noon and say you need half hour or an hour to get to where you're going, what happens? Maybe it's a guy thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, walk me through it. So it's from 6 until say 11. What happens?
Well, we juggle between a lot of stuff. We have family. I have a son,
right?
And everything is happening together. You
Yes.
know, we are getting ready, taking a shower, makeup, hair, and then breakfast. And the kid just wakes up, so I have to run after him also. So all this takes time, of course.
And your son has to go to daycare or go to school.
Yes, yes, he goes to daycare. Right
and
now.
so while you're trying to get all, you know, makeup, hair, what you're going to wear just to get to this thing, in the meantime, you're dealing with a whole other person, you know, he's groggy, he's tired, you know what I mean? And you've got to feed him food.
First of all, let me say he's the bestest thing that has happened to me.
That's
and
great.
He is such a great kid. He whenever he sees me, like, all dressed up or in crown, like my pictures, he would be like, "Oh, Mama Queen." And like, my heart just melts. And then he knows, like, Mama is doing makeup, so he will tell his dad, "Mama, makeup." So he knows it. So he's just adorable.
And what's your son's name?
Einish.
Einish, that's great. Is that a family name, or does the main name have meaning to you?
No, it means sunshine.
Oh, that's great. That's very cool. And so he knows to respect Mama Queen's space, so to speak.
Yes.
And you've got to go. And I guess as a guy, it's like, oh, okay, I've got to be at the studio, say, for 12:30. I'm waking up whenever I want. You know what I mean? Like, if I wake up at 8 or 9 or whatever, I can get here on time. But for a lady who has to put on hair, makeup, jewelry, accents, it's much more involved.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I'm just showing some empathy. Well, I mean, Shalini,
Thank you.
this is just a lot of fun. How, if people wanted to say you're hosting, because that's kind of how I met you, was through the Boston Film Festival.
Yes.
And BIFF, and I guess I saw you interviewing someone or a photo or something.
Okay.
But if people wanted to bring you in as a host, a hostess for a live event, or if they wanted to talk to you about maybe being a product spokeswoman, how would they go about reaching you? Is there a Facebook page you want to share or something like
Well,
that?
I am on social media, Facebook, Insta, everywhere. I have a page, the Shalini Kashyap, so yeah, you can reach me there. And I also have a makeup page. I give a glam. So yeah, like I said, I love to do makeup, and I'm a freelance makeup artist. You can find me everywhere.
So that's, I mean, it's fabulous. You know, it's really exciting, and I think it's great. And you've been in this country, you said, for 8 years?
8 years, yeah.
Yeah, and you get to go home, visit people back in India sometimes too.
Yes. Once in a year or once in 2 years, my parents come here like every year, so it's kind of cool.
Have they ever gotten to see you in one of these pageants or in one of your gigs?
Yes. Well, I've been doing this for quite a long time. Even back in India, I was like participating in shows back in college, school. Like I said, like I love to be on stage. It's like that feeling, you feel so pumped, like seeing the reaction of audience. I love to be on stage, so I've been doing this, and they've been very supportive. My parents, like I've been liberal parents, they supported me in whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to join flying, so there was not even a single no from my dad or mom. Like, so I don't know if I mentioned I'm a former flight stewardess, like I was an flight manager. Yeah. So yeah, I flew for an international airline. So it was always a yes. If you're not doing anything wrong, why would anybody say no, right?
Do you have brothers and sisters, Shalini?
Yes, of course. We are 4 sisters.
Wow.
I'm the youngest and the most pampered.
Your sisters had to break them in for you. So
yeah, I come from a family of like academician and artists. My sisters are like all professional dancers, and I trained in singing. So yeah, it was all happening in the family.
This is I mean, was there any brothers or just the ladies?
Just sisters, yeah.
So five. Four of you. Oh my goodness. So what a popular household that must have been going on. And
all crazy stuff happening.
That's a sitcom right there.
Yeah, your sisters are your best friends, aren't they?
Give them a quick shout out. We just have a few seconds. What are your sisters' names?
My eldest sister is Vinita, Kaveri, Pallavi, and me, Shalini. Hi, Mom, Dad, my loving husband, and my love, Einish, and hello to everyone, my friends at my work, and my friend photographers, and my designer friends, and everybody who has helped me in my journey here. So yeah, Shalini, I love you all.
Thank you so much for coming on
My
Messier Mantra.
pleasure.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.